What is gravy, everybody? Welcome back to the f it. I'm in a bad mood. I want to complain about things. Here are 6 trophies that frustrated the hell out of me. I may be in the minority, but I really did enjoy Final Fantasy 15. Yes, it's massively flawed and feels like they gave up on the story 2/3 of the way through, but I loved spending time with the boys. But the Tortoise Toppler trophy for defeating the Adamantoise needs to get thrown into the same hellish pit as that old ET game. This fight sucks. There are so many great examples of Final Fantasy super bosses that manage to keep you on your toes and throw some interesting or challenging things at you. Adamantoise is not one of those examples. It is boring, monotonous, and so bloody long. If you're ill prepared, this fight can take anywhere up to 3 hours to get through. Imagine that, 3 tedious hours of fighting, if you can call it that, to get one single trophy. There is a cheese to make this faster, but it is entirely RNG dependent and involves spamming the same spell over and over and over again, hoping for an insta-kill. F you, Adamantoise. Now I was in 2 minds for the next entry. Both of them are from the Quarry, but one of them was only frustrating because it was, well, broken. Hard pass sounds simple on paper, and now that it's fixed it probably is, but when I unlocked it, there were whole threads discussing ways to make it work. Some said you needed to use a physical copy of the game so you could do it unpatched. Others said there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Truth is, the tracking was completely wrong, and you had to perform the action more times than there were opportunities to do so. This meant that each time you told the Chrome where to stick it, you had to quit and reload to do it 2 more times. For every single one. However, given that this is now functional, I can't really say it's bullshit, can I? So instead I'm going for the bizarre yet bona fide trophy for sitting through the entirety of that goddamn podcast at the end of the game. These types of trophies need wiping off the face of the planet. Seriously, I'm all for giving people that made the game the appreciation they deserve in the credits, just don't turn it into a friggin' trophy. Just don't. Skater XL, around the world. I'm not saying more than that. So I made a whole video about the Platinum Trophy for Ghostwire Tokyo, and in that video I talked about how mind-numbing a lot of the collectibles are, and this tedium is best personified by the Salvation of All trophy for freeing 100% of the spirits that infest the map. In total, there are about 240,000 spirits to free. Yes, you heard that number correct. Okay, so they aren't all individually placed, they're split into groups, but that still leaves, according to some PSNP maths, roughly 2,116 collectibles. I mean, why? As I said, this game has a pretty tedious platinum due to the sheer number of collectibles you need to get, but even then, having over 2,000 of one type is insanity. Trophy hunters tend to have quite mixed opinions on these types of trophies anyway. I myself am rather lenient towards them. But even if you actively enjoyed the platinum in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you cannot deny that this takes it way too far. Okay, chances are this is the entry that's going to rub people the wrong way, but I don't care. The Intrepid Mortal Trophy in Shadow of the Colossus, and by association the Reach the Gate and Fruit of the Garden trophies, sucked. I loved this game when I first played it. I'd never tried the original, but heard it was one of the best things since Belgian Waffles. However, when I realised just how mind-numbingly tedious it was going to be to get these trophies, I almost didn't bother. They sound simple enough. You basically have to max out Wanda's stats. But to do this, you would need to defeat the equivalent of 80 Colossi. For context, there are 16 in the game. Sure, there are items you can collect that also increase these stats, but the benefits pale in comparison to the boss kills, and actually stop working after a certain point. So the easiest way to do this is to start New Game Plus, kill the first 2 Colossi, start New Game Plus Plus, kill those Colossi again, and so on and so on and so forth until the heat death of the universe. If you've already gotten the rest of the trophies, then this grind is obviously reduced. In fact, it's recommended to at least unlock all the time attack rewards as they make things significantly easier. But it still doesn't change the fact that this trophy almost single-handedly ruined an otherwise impeccable game. Right, the last one on my list is the only one that I've yet to unlock, and it's because I'm working on it at the moment. And I'm sorry, Plat Pad, but it's from Crisis Core. The Mission Completionist trophy tasks you with completing all the missions available to Zack throughout the game. However, there are a total of 300 of them, and most of them aren't exactly what you would call fun. Oh, and some of them are missable too. Most of the ones I've completed so far have followed an identical pattern. Go from point A to point B, opening chests and fighting enemies if you can be bothered, and defeat the enemy at the end. No real story, no real hook, just beat the enemy and job done. The process might not even take too long, especially for some of the low rank missions, but they just aren't very interesting. I know there are some exceptions, but that doesn't justify the other 250 missions that play out exactly as I just described in one of about 6 locations. This is probably entirely due to the PSP origins of the game, where they were restricted by what the handheld could do. But in the year of our Lord 2023, could they not have done something better with this? I am literally at the end of the game now, and I've been chipping away at them when I can, but I'm not even halfway through. Needless to say, I will be incredibly happy when this is over. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. Why don't you let me know in the comments down below some of your most frustrating or tedious trophies? I really do want to know. Someone to share my pain. While you're here, why not check out another video by clicking on the screen right there. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time. But the Tortoise Toppler trophy... Hell, try and say that 10 times fast, Jesus.